Hello and welcome. I'm Tauseeq Haider, and I bring to you a series of conversations with Pakistani liberals called Freedom in Lockdown. And this is brought to you by FNF Pakistan, Federation and Foundation Pakistan. It's a liberal political foundation. And usually I bring to you some interesting guests who have been associated with the liberal values, liberal cause, liberal solutions, and FNF Pakistan for many, many years. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce you to a relatively a newer friend of FNF who has been associated with FNF for the last not more than 2-3 years, in fact, 2 years. And he is from that generation whom I really enjoy working with, because now that I'm in my 50s, it is a great, interesting pleasure to learn from the youngsters who are in their 20s and 30s. What an incredible idea that I, or people of my age and my generation, learning from the generation ahead and also the generation following. Try that. It's a beautiful feeling. And to share this experience, I have with me Usman Latif, who is a digital marketing and communications expert and consultant. And he consults and he teaches people like me also how to survive in this digital world. Welcome. Good evening, Usman.
Good evening, Tauseeq. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. First of all, tell me, how is this experience to because your students, your clients, and people you train are from all the 3 generations. Your generation,
Yes.
your generation above, that is me, and your generation following, who are the teenagers. So, how is the experience of training people like me, the old horses?
I think old. I wouldn't say old. I would say senior. So this audience is very much, serious about learning new things, and the main difference between the younger generation and the senior generation is that basically people who are in their 20s or 30s probably are not as serious about this career as much as people who are elders. I don't want to do discrimination based on the age, because once I taught. I had a student who was 60. She was a teacher. She was teaching to kindergarten in a school, and she took my course twice. And I was the second time I saw her in my course, I asked her, "Why are you in the same course for the second time?" She said, "I thought you are teaching something else." I said, "No, you can take a refund because this is the same exactly same course. It was in Lums, right? So back 2 years back when there were like physical classes." So she said, "Okay, no worries. I'll learn again because the last time I couldn't get exactly everything. So I'm going to learn something again." I said, "Why are you learning again?" Because in 60s, I never thought I would be, doing something new. So she said, "Usman, age is just a number. And I'm going to start a career in digital marketing." And I was like, "Okay, you changed my perspective forever." Like, whenever we think about our 60s, we think about retiring, we think about resting and moving around,
Exactly.
provided if we live long enough. But her enthusiasm, her daughter was younger, elder than me. So I said, "Where's your daughter?" She said, "She's sleeping." I'm not sure she meant literally she was sleeping, or she was sleeping like, as she's missing out on a lot of things. But she said, "Usman, this is age is just a number. When you are 60, you're more active, you're more lively."
Brilliant. Yeah.
And so I really feel like people who because I feel like I am also a production of that generation that you were talking to, because when I grew up, I did not have computer. I got computer in my in my 20s, and my kids and my the young generation, they get mobile the first thing. Even if they are not talking, they are using mobile. They are very frequent mobile users. So there's no technology gap, but we are the generation that had to cope up with the technology gap because our parents never knew what mobile is.
Absolutely.
And we had to be relevant as per the rest of the world, because everyone was going digital. So this was like very difficult for a few people, provided especially in our generation. But the younger generation, it's going to be very easy. And luckily for me, I've been in a position where I have taught everyone. I have had classes from 12 years to 60 years, and it's wonderful teaching everyone the same thing.
You're a communications and a digital guru, uh, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I have an understanding that the digital marketing or the digital reality also is changing after every 5 years. So uh, do you not think that you are also redefining and struggling uh, to have a flight on that altitude all the time, and after every 4 to 5 years the digital reality is also changing? Is it not really a big challenge in life?
I think it's different for different people. For me, it's my passion. So I studied mass communication, which is mass media. As a degree, I became a journalist, and then I realized digital journalism is changing, and digital journalism is getting in. It was too early for other newspapers because back in 2006 when I started learning, there was only Geo TV and PTV, and a few other PTV related
Yeah.
different entities, ATV or something. So yeah, when all these channels came in, there was like a blast of media, innovation and everything. Every new channel has every new technology and a lot of programs. So it was deregularized in 2006 and 7, and we were very happy that this is growing. But even then, I thought digital media is the way to go. So the challenge is, since the advent of internet, the information has exploded. Like, so it's easier to get information. It's faster to spread information. The information spread has been so fast that you're talking about 5 years. I'm saying it gets obsolete in a few months if you are not keeping yourself updated. And
Really?
yeah, so
Few
the first
months.
thing, a few months, yeah. So the first thing I tell my students that whatever I'm going to teach you, I cannot guarantee if it's going to be relevant even after my lecture, because by the time
It's
I'm teaching
interesting.
you something today and Google changes its policy, it's changed forever. Like, so see, the problem is, most of the people don't understand that you are dependent on media, and by media we think like, okay, TV, newspaper, radio, but digital is also a form of media. So wherever you can get audience, you can call it media. And digital media is more accountable, more wide, more it has more reach, it has more power, and it's recorded. So in traditional media, you couldn't, if you have missed a program, you have missed a program, but in digital, it's recorded forever. So what happens is, when media changes, you have to change. When there was print media, there were different principles. When there was electronic media, there were different principles. Now when there's digital media, there are different principles. So I teach digital media in general, but then I teach specific tool specific programs, like what is Google. In on Google, I can have probably 4 or 5 courses separately just to teach how Google works and how its different products work. So it's innovating very fast. I agree with you, but 5 years is too much. Like, in 3 years we change our jobs. Like, the job specification, the job role changes within 3 years. You are not doing the same thing within 3 years that you were doing 3 years ago.
So this means what you were teaching 3 years ago is obsolete now.
What I was teaching 3 months ago is probably obsolete now, but not as much as what I taught 3 years ago. So so within a year, within 6 months, everything comes in. So the beauty of having live classes is, I tell my people, I've worked for DG Skills, which is a government run program. Ministry of IT launched that program, and Whitshire University executed that program. I have over 100,000 students who have taken my course for SEO on how to rank on Google organically. So if you search something on Google, uh, there are certain websites which rank, and you click on something, and you go to that website. So what happens is, when you are a business, you need traffic, and Google is one of the best medium of traffic. So you want your website to rank as well. So that is where search engine optimization comes in. So that course alone has over 100,000 students so far within last 2.5 years, and it's one of the
Interesting.
most popular courses. And
Interesting.
so this is changing very fast. But I tell my students that, okay, whatever I recorded back in 2018 is probably not relevant, and even the tool has changed itself. Like, not
Yeah.
only the strategy, the tool is also
Yeah.
changed, the interface
Yeah.
is changed. It's
Right. So, Usman, I want you to take us many, many years in your past.
okay.
When you were 15, when your chachaji, your mamu, would visit you on Eid at home, and he would ask you, "Ah, Usman putter, fir ki karna hai vade hoke? Usman, what do you want to be when you are an adult? What do you want to be when you grow up?" What used to be your answer? Now, this is a serious question. At the age of 15, what was your answer? What you wanted to do in life professionally?
Okay, frankly speaking, I had no answer. And personally, I never told this to anyone ever, but I had a lot of fantasies that I wanted to become Shah Rukh Khan, probably because I liked the way he acted, because he was my favorite actor at that time. I wanted to be Shahid Afridi because he was the favorite. He was my favorite batsman. I
Cricketer,
wanted to be Vakar Yunus because he was my favorite,
bowler.
baller. So these were like the fantasies of a young boy who wanted to be everything, and at the same time.
These
So
were your heroes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
yeah, these were my heroes, because every other deep rooted in this sentiment was like, I wanted to be something that was who was admired. So I didn't know that at that time. And so I was like, I belonged to a middle class family. We were not that rich, we were not that focused. So we had no plans. So frankly speaking, when I was 15, I didn't know what I was going to do.
At the age of 20, did you had an answer at 20?
So I remember the first job I did was, so my father died early, so I had to take care of my family. I have three sisters, one mother, so I was the only boy in the family, so I had to do something. So when I first started, I remember when it was 14th of August. I don't remember the year, but I was like, I had no ID card, so I have a very
You were
vivid
under
memory of that.
18.
Yeah, I was under 18, and I remember that because my friends were going on, let's go, yaar, wheelie karte hain, matlab cycle और ये सब चीजें. So I was on
One,
my
one
bike,
wheeling and one wheeling and biking, huh? Like a pindi
one
boy.
wheeling, yeah, same. So,
Like me,
but
pindi boy. Okay.
I was on my bicycle and I was looking for jobs, and I went to McDonald's and they rejected that. Okay, you are underage, we cannot even accept your CV. So you are not. So I ended up at Gourmet Bakers, where they said, okay, well, can you start today? I said, not today, probably tomorrow. So that was like 2,500 per month was job. And so that was my first profession, first job, because I had to support my family. And by the time I was uh, 6 March was my birthday, and on 6 March, I went to Nadra that I need my ID card, because I cannot get a decent job because I'm underage, and these big companies have laws and everything, they cannot hire me. So
Mhm.
they said, you need to come back tomorrow because you just got 18, you need to be elder than 18. So one tip that you need
18
to,
plus 1 day.
yes, at least above 18. So that was like my 18th. And by 20s, I was looking for my bachelor's, I guess, and I was teaching home tuitions, because that was a decent job. I was teaching like whatever I was getting full time of, like maybe in 12 hours at Gourmet or other bakeries. I was getting paid for the same, getting paid the same amount by teaching students at their houses. So I was tutoring students from O levels, A levels, and other
But you
other
did have
classes.
my question is, did you have a vision that I want to be a comms digital marketing guru, or I want to be a pilot? I want to. The clarity was not there. Correct.
Nothing. There was no career counseling. There was nothing.
Is- now you work with a lot of Pakistani students and youngsters, even not only Pakistanis. I think and I'm sure you're your students and your trainees are all over the world. Is Pakistani teenager much more clear than my and then your age and generation on what they want to do what they want to do in life and what they want to be in life? Are they much more clear, or are they as ambiguous and blurry as I was or as you were?
I wouldn't say they are as ambiguous as we were, but it cannot be generalized to the whole generation. But the most of the
But
experiences,
generally, since you work with them.
yeah. So most of my experiences are with people who want to do something. So when I talk about, they are different personas. Like, so we are talking about under 15s, under 16s. They want to be YouTubers, in my opinion. So most of them want to be TikTokers, YouTubers. They know other TikTokers are making money, other YouTubers are making money. They are very much clear about making money. So that is one thing, Tauseeq, I remember, because we have been told. So money has been demonized in my age. When I was young,
Oh, he's very money-minded. He's very money-minded. So it's you.
Exactly.
You look on someone who's. Yeah, you're right.
So money was like blasphemy. कि भाई पैसे नहीं चाहिए, मतलब लाइफ में पैसे ही सब कुछ नहीं होता. लेकिन it's not right. I think it was a very wrong notion that we were taught. Money was demonized in our age, but when I see today's youth, they are very money focused, and I think that's a good sign, because it costs money to live, it costs money to eat, and it costs money for everything. So what is the shame in earning money? And you need to be very clear about this. And you know what, when I've worked with USAID, I've worked with other big sponsors who are trying to change the business behaviors. While I was working with, I joined USAID again just last week for their trainings all over Pakistan. So what happens is, when I work with US organizations like USAID, I go to chambers, I go to business associations, and I teach these capitalists who have like millions and billions of worth of machines in their factories, and they're exporting a lot of goods, but they weren't know what a website is, and they don't know why they need a website. So as a litmus test, I ask them the same question: why are you doing business? So I have a whole session on this particular question: why do you need marketing, and why do you do business? So a lot of people shy in saying this one thing, that we do business
Money.
to make money. So I can see the resistance while they were uttering. I could see the resistance, that they are not able to speak that we are here in this for money. And that was very, I felt sorry about that, because if you're not money focused, you're not doing business. And that is the good thing about youth, that they are money focused. And that is, in my opinion, if I was money focused, I would have done a lot better than I'm doing today.
Usman, tell me, you also mentioned TikTok and different platforms. Is TikTok bad?
I don't think anything is bad unless you make use it for something bad. So people need to understand, technology, devices, they're not bad. The way you use it can be bad, right? So money is not bad. The same notion, money is not bad. If you use it to help other people, it's even good. If it's even better. So the same goes for cameras. The same goes for any media, because what happens is we have a culture of resistance. We resist everything at first, right? So same goes for speakers, same goes for TV, same goes for radio, same goes for internet now. हमारे यहाँ, I'm not sure if I can speak Urdu, but so
yeah, it's all right.
We can be bilingual, right?
We can go bilingual, not a problem. Yeah.
Okay, so in Pakistan, I feel like, okay, हर चीज को resist, मतलब ये तो ना, ये तो बुरी चीज है. I don't want to say that particular word. एक तो गाली दी जाती है मीडिया को, right? कि ये तो घर घर में आ गया है, और ये तो जेबों में आ गया है, ये तो मोबाइल पे आ गया है, So अब आप मुझे बताएं, मतलब कोई ऐसी मस्जिद जिसमें स्पीकर ना हो, कोई ऐसी, मतलब अब इतने सारे चैनल्स हैं जो कि सिर्फ इस्लाम के ऊपर है। सो हम पहले टेक्नोलॉजी को अपोज करते हैं, उसके बाद उसके खिलाफ प्रोपागेंडा करते हैं, एंड देन जब पूरी दुनिया उस पर अडॉप्ट कर लेती है,
हम उसको अडॉप्ट कर लेते
फिर हम उसको रिंग के उसको रेजिस्टेंस के साथ अडॉप्शन करते हैं, और बाय द टाइम वी अडॉप्ट इट फुली, वी आर लाइक 20 years behind the rest of the world.
But this is how humans are. You're absolutely right, Usman, because if you're a communications expert, you're a comm student, you know that when the typewriter was invented, even typewriter was considered to be blasphemous. Even a
Right.
pen. So a typewriter in those days was a big invention, like the digital world today. So you're
Right.
absolutely right that these become objectionable challenges, and then the same challenges are adopted as but a lot of students are trying to earn money to make their living, as you rightly said, that they want to be YouTubers.
Right.
What if somebody is not a successful YouTuber? What will happen then? What is the backup plan for a person who wants to be a YouTuber and earn money out of it, but at the end of the day, he or she does not achieve that success to be a YouTuber or a TikToker, digital media money maker? What happens? What is an advice from Usman Latif tonight to them?
So I always advise people to go after skills, right? So YouTube is a media. Today you have YouTube, tomorrow you have TikTok, and a day after that you may have something else. So there was no YouTube probably like 20 years ago. There might not be a YouTube after 20 years. There might be something else and something more popular. So media keeps changing, and people keep shifting from one channel to another, and just because every new channel gives us something new. So what is new in TikTok? What was not able, what you were not able to do in Facebook, what you were not able to do in Instagram, it's the same thing, right? So सिर्फ फर्क क्या है कि जी they just give you one feature, and people flock to that technology because they like one feature, right? So it's very easy to scroll your TikTok, and the technology is very interesting. It's like 30 seconds and nothing more, and so the content has become micro content. People have it points to one thing, which probably is good or maybe is bad, is that people don't have time. So there's an attention deficit in this new digital world. You cannot stick people to probably 1 hour, 2 hour, maybe these media. So this is why even seasons like Netflix seasons are more popular than movies, because they are 30 minutes to 45 minutes. People watch it, and they move on. So coming back to the question, like what kind of advice, I think sometimes some people end up feeling depressed when they are not successful on YouTube or TikTok. It's not about YouTube or TikTok. These are just channels. As I said, there may be more channels. It's about what you are. It's about who you are, like what you can deliver, what value can you produce in this world. So that is the actual content. So I teach content, right? So communication is content. What I'm saying is content. What I'm thinking is content. What I'm delivering is content. So this is so you need to work on your content, what your content is, and how you're going to deliver it. With YouTube, you can deliver it like in 1 hour, but on TikTok, you need to deliver it. You need to squeeze it down to maybe 30 seconds, smaller, shorter bites of content, and that you can deliver. So channel gives you some principles, some rules, some regulations, but ultimately what people are coming after is not how you look. It's not how you maybe how you look. People in fashion are on the same banking on the same idea that how you look, right? So people like you the way you are. But I think if you look good, that is fine. You can be a model, or you can be a star. But if you think you have something more to deliver, like you have to contribute something to someone's life, media is just a channel. You can use any channel. Just focus on what your content is, what you're good at.
I sometimes think, Usman, that you a little while ago also said that people don't have time, and this is generally said that's why it's the using habit of digital media content is coming from 1 hour to 30 minutes to then it came to 15 minutes. Then we remember only some years ago it said 5 minutes. Now you said 3 minutes or something like that. Sorry, 30 seconds. Now it has come down to. 30 seconds, I sometimes think it's not lack of time, it's lack of attention.
Right.
And it has got everything to do with our brain cells. So, what is next? 30 seconds, what is next? 15 seconds? 3 seconds? What next?
Uh, I think it's as you said, it's attention deficit. Then, and the root cause of that is probably we want to consume more in less time, and and the same thing goes for what is next. Means probably people would like to consume more in less time, and that means maybe we're heading towards virtual reality, artificial intelligence. We may develop some technologies where I don't see the content that I don't want to see. The content is already filtered out for me, and instead of wasting my time on something and then realizing it was not worth my time, probably will have more filtered, more qualified content, and that may reduce some time. Maybe uh, 10 seconds or 5 seconds. I don't think you can probably deliver anything in 5 seconds or 10 seconds, but there will be a threshold for maybe 30 to 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute. But I think the mediums will change. And if you have heard about Google Glass, which has been discontinued, but it was way ahead of its time, when you could have a goggles or a glass on you, and you can it had a camera, it had you could see everything in the glasses itself.
Yeah.
So I think in future you might have lenses where when I see you, I can probably profile you. I see how many followers do you have, what kind of social accreditation that you have. The chips may be implanted in our brains or something. So it's we are heading towards that thing. And if someone says, okay, Usman, that is very absurd, that may not happen. So I'll take you back 20 years, that when there was no mobile. So people didn't never thought of mobiles 20 years ago when
I lived
iPhone
that
came.
time, and
Yeah,
we used to get to all appointments without a mobile phone.
yes.
We used to get to all dates and all of that without a mobile. So I've lived those times, yes, and those were beautiful times as well.
Yeah. So it's again there was less information because you had less channels. There was only बड़ों से बात सुन ली तो बात समझ आ गई, सुनी सुनी बातें हमारे तक पहुंचती थी, फिर टीवी देख लिया तो वो भी 9 बजे बंद हो जाता था. So
Exactly. Usman,
yeah.
So Usman, tell me, where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
I think I would be running a few startups, maybe a few businesses, probably in e-commerce. I'll be doing digital marketing for my own companies. I'll be probably thinking about retiring and having some passive earnings. At least that is my passion or vision. That is the goal that I'm pursuing.
Now looking back to your journey so far, what is one decision that you regret?
I'm not sure. I was, not hoping to have that question. So, so basically, I can remember a lot of decisions that I think I took right, but I have to, really think about the ones that I did not, because I probably try not to delve in the past and think about the future. So the one thing I probably will regret is that probably I did not enter in this journey earlier, not learning enough about. Yeah, so that is something that I don't think that anyone is to blame, because it was the trend in Pakistan. No one was aware of it. I cannot blame my parents. I cannot blame my teachers. I cannot blame anyone, because they all were in the same boat, right? So we didn't know. They were the production of the same system that I've been, I've been through. Yeah. So basically, I just hope I could have, I wish I was in this earlier. I wish I had a mentor. I wish I had, someone to teach me what I should be doing in my life earlier than
But it's good that you are
how
teaching many others now all over the world.
I tell them that whatever I'm teaching you today is a production of, like, is a result of my 12 to 13 years of digital journey. Because I fully started my digital marketing profession since 2008. And I tell them that, okay, whatever I'm telling you today was not something that someone told me. It was a result of a lot many mistakes. And that is when I learned, okay, I don't have to do this. Like, there are like 10 other ways that I don't have to follow. This is the only way that I'm teaching you that you have to follow. You can go that way, and then ultimately you will come back to this particular method that I've been teaching you. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think people are lucky. Information blast is already here. There's a lot of information. Me or anyone else, a lot of people have to contribute a lot of things to younger generation, I guess.
One last question, Usman Latif. If I give you a magic wand, what one thing about Pakistan you would like to change with that Jadoo ki chhadi, with that magic wand? Overnight, one thing.
Okay, so I think I will change perception of everyone that they need to make money. One thing is that because Pakistan in general has a problem that money has been demonized. एक कॉन्सेप्ट मुझे बताया जाता है कि जी अल्लाह देगा, तो अल्लाह कितना देगा ये डिपेंड करता है आप हलाल कितना कमा रहे हैं. So the general notion about money is that, okay, लोग हराम खर्च करते हैं, गलत खर्च करते हैं. I said that I haven't seen anything as far that हलाल रिस्क पे कोई पाबंदी है. आप ज़कात दें, आप सब कुछ करें, बट हलाल रिस्क आप कमाएं. आप 1000 लोगों को एम्प्लॉय रखते हैं तो आप 10,000 को रखें. आप एक को रखते हैं तो आप 10 को रखें. This is something you need to make money to help yourself and then to help your country. So this is one thing that we are not able to do, because whatever you do, unless you make money for yourself, you're not making your society rich, you're not making your country rich, you're not making yourself, the whole notion that if until I produce something of value for myself or for other people, we have nothing to export, we have nothing to sell. And when we don't sell something, we don't get paid for that thing. So I think what I would like to change is, because I'm very business minded, I don't delve into politics, I don't delve into religion or other other issues. I think if you solve the money problem, you solve a lot of other problems as well, because once you have money, you can spend on your learning, you can spend on your systems, you can spend on a lot of things. And once you're more affluent in resources, that is when you can become a welfare society. Probably that is when you can take care of your elders, your youth, your neighbors, your everything. So I think money is a tool. We need to learn how to use it. It's not a demon. It's not something that you need to demonize. You need to follow this. You need to learn the art of earning money, and then that is how you help your country. That is how you help your family, yourself, your society, and everything.
Usman, thank you so much for your time. It was actually really learning experience for me to talk to you, because as I was mentioning in the beginning of the show tonight, that I learned a lot from your generation. And thank you for sharing your knowledge and your experience and your vision with us. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, Tauseeq. Thank you for having me on this show, and thank you FNF and the whole team behind this show. I hope I have helped in some way.
You did. You absolutely did. All the best. Thank you everyone for joining Usman Latif and myself in this special session of Freedom in Lockdown. I'm sure you enjoyed listening to him, and you also took some tips to be a YouTuber or a TikToker or to earn money in your life, which is a beautiful thing. So take good care, good care of yourself, and see you with another guest sometime. All the best. Bye-bye.